I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charade. You are a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can take an internet troll.
Take it to the bank that the FBI is protecting this country and the state and citizens of California. We are bringing historic reform.
Point of order. As I mentioned in a previous video, Donald Trump's FBI Director, Kash Patel, just had one of the very worst days of his professional life in the United States Senate, in which he was humiliated by both Democrats and Republicans for recent failures. And it ended up with him getting triggered and into shouting matches, literal shouting matches with Democrats, and we have to talk about it. But before we do, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, folks, this is some reality TV show shit right here. Before we get to the spicier stuff with the Democrats, I want to play the short clip of Kash being called out by a Republican Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina.
Within 24 hours of Mr. Kirk's shooting, we had the guy that does the podcast for the War Room and another guy who's denied the Sandy Hook shootings say we're at war. Now, how on earth, and I do believe it's a smaller number, but it's a number that has an influence. How on earth are we de-escalating the situation? And with the tensions as high as they were last week, with going out and saying, we're at war. I'm not asking you to respond to this question. I'm just saying that there are people out here on our side of the aisle that still need to look in the mirror. Even if you agree that it's a lower number, bad is bad no matter how many numbers they are. And that kind of rhetoric and that kind of mobilization makes your job more difficult and puts us in a position where we're not being as productive as you want the FBI and state and local law enforcement to be.
So I appreciate Tom Tillis, even though I disagree with him. I don't think it's a smaller number. He's referring to political violence. The data show that it's actually much more represented on the right than the left. But it is an issue on both sides to one extent or another, and both sides are obligated, in my opinion, to condemn it. And I appreciate him basically telling Kash Patel to his face, like, hey, knock it off. Our side is not perfect. It's not all the Democrats, and you need to be more objective and honest about that. So kudos to him. Now let's get to the spicy shit, featuring Senator Cory Booker and Senator Adam Schiff, who is like Donald Trump's congressional arch nemesis. I'm saving him for the end. It gets really ugly with him. But let's start with Cory Booker here.
And it really makes me wonder who you're looking out for. It makes me think we can't trust you as a nation. You swear to release the Epstein files, but now you're withholding the Epstein files. You claim that you have a suspect in a serious assassination. Whoops, then you don't have a suspect. You know nothing about plans to remove FBI agents, yet you're directly involved in those plans. In the words of an ex-FBI official, you are overseeing, and I quote, generational destruction of the nation's premier law enforcement agency. Mr. Patel, in just 8 months, you have assaulted the institutional integrity of the FBI. But I know FBI field agents. I've worked with them in Newark. No matter how truly bad you are, you can't undermine the legacy of agents who fight every day to keep us safe, but you can tarnish the integrity of the agency and undermine the agency's capacity. I believe you're failing as a leader, and that your failure does have serious implications for the safety and security of Americans and our families. We're more vulnerable to domestic and foreign attack because of your failures of leadership. I don't think you're fit to hand the bureau, but here's the thing, Mr. Patel. I think you're not going to be around long. I think this might be your last oversight hearing. Because as much as you supplicate yourself to the will of Donald Trump and not the Constitution of the United States of America, Donald Trump has shown us in his first term and in this term, he is not loyal to people like you. He will cut you loose. This may be the last time I have a hearing with you because I don't think you're long for your job. But I'm going to tell you this, I pray for you. I pray for you that you can step up and defend your oath, defend the Constitution, and do a much better job of defending this country.
So yeah, by Cory Booker standards, that was fairly spicy. He read him the Riot Act, made a really compelling case that Kash Patel has screwed up spectacularly and failed to live up to his oath. And as far as the comment that this may be their last Senate hearing, that is possible. Now, the Trump administration is denying that they have any plans to get rid of Kash Patel, but of course, any administration would say that about any official who was on the professional chopping block. But the reporting by Fox News, which is sourced by like 10 people, 10 sources within the Trump administration and law enforcement agencies, is pretty compelling. So we'll see what happens. But as spicy as that was, it's about to get a lot worse because Patel is then given an opportunity by the Republicans to respond to Cory Booker, and it escalates.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do you want to say anything?
Yes,
at this
sir.
point?
That rant of false information does not bring this country together. If you want to work on bringing this country, it's my time, not yours.
My
If you-
God.
If
You're
you
gonna
want to
lecture
talk
me
about,
dividing this country,
it is
I
my
follow
time.
you on your social media posts that
It is
tear
my
this country
time
apart.
to
There
address
should be a
your
unifying-
falsehoods.
Oh,
You are an
you can try
embarrassment
all
to the
you
division
want
in this country.
to not
Senator
take
Booker,
responsibility
it's my time.
for what
You
you
had
have
your
said.
time.
Sir, you're
Your
making
time
a
is
mockery of this
over.
committee. Sir, you don't tell me my time is over.
You
The
know how
people
far
of New
we've
Jersey
come
tell me
since
what my
you
time
tell-
is.
Senator-
You can't lecture me.
You can tell me
Sir,
my time's
you
over?
You may be the charge of the
I'm not
FBI,
going anywhere.
but I am not afraid of you, sir.
Mr. Chairman,
Not afraid of you.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Senator Booker, I announced at the beginning of this meeting that this back and forth talking over each other doesn't work, and I
So that's Chuck Grassley. He's 90, literally 90 something, I think 91, 92 years old, just like blowing the dust out of his mummified vocal cords to try to call this to order. But yeah, okay. So that was spicy, right? That back and forth. That was, it's about to get worse because Adam Schiff just entered the chat, and Kash Patel and Donald Trump really hate Adam Schiff much more than they hate Cory Booker.
That you played no role in the firing of even a single FBI agent for political retribution.
None for political retribution.
And if any FBI agent said you did, they would be lying. Is that your testimony?
I'm only speaking to my actions. Everybody is allowed to make their allegations.
Oh,
I
no,
have
these are
not-
allegations against you.
And
so,
I'm-
Mr. Patel, if FBI, senior FBI agents or employees said that you were firing them for political retribution reasons because of the cases they were assigned, you're saying they would be lying. Is that your
Anyone that
testimony?
was terminated at the FBI was done so for failing to meet the standards, uphold their constitutional oath, and effectuate the mission.
Well, by meet the standards, are you talking about meet the standards of protecting the president under any circumstance?
No.
You also guaranteed Senator Blumenthal that every FBI employee will be held to the same, absolute same standard. No one will be terminated for case assignments. Are you testifying today that you never terminated anyone at the FBI, in whole or in part, because of a prior case assignment?
No one at the FBI is terminated for case assignments alone.
Well, I'm asking about you, Mr. Patel. Did you, in whole or in part, terminate anyone at the FBI because they worked on the Trump investigation or because they worked on January 6th?
No one at the FBI has been terminated for case assignments alone.
Okay, you're saying alone. Does that mean they were terminated in part because they were assigned to a January 6th case or assigned to the Mar-a-Lago case? You're being very precise here, Mr. Patel. You're saying alone. That means they were fired in part because they were assigned those cases. Is that your testimony?
Absolutely not. But
So we're going to continue this, but so this is part of what Patel is doing to the FBI. It's a lot of thought crime punishment. How dare you investigate MAGA or Trump? Even if the case was assigned to you, you didn't even get a damn choice. It's not like you initiated the investigations, which would still be inappropriate to fire somebody over. You just did what you were told because there's a chain of command, and we're going to shit can you in part because of that. Not good.
if you want to keep
Okay,
putting words
well,
in my mouth,
then
go
let me
ahead.
ask you, let's strip away the word alone. Did you terminate or participate in any discipline of any FBI employee in whole or in part because of their work on an investigation of Donald Trump or January 6th? Yes or no?
Any terminations at the FBI by employees.
No, I'm
since
asking you a very specific
And I'm
question.
going to answer the question, but you don't like the answer because it's the
No,
truth
I
and it guts
want
your
an answer to my
narrative.
question. I don't want an answer to someone else's question. So let me just be precise, and I ask for a yes or no answer. Did you ever terminate or discipline an FBI employee in whole or in part because they had been assigned or worked on an investigation of Donald Trump or January 6th?
FBI
yes or no?
employees are only terminated
Yes
if
or
they
no,
fail
Mr.
to
Patel?
uphold their oaths of
Yes or
office
no?
and duty.
You're not
at the
answering my
FBI
question.
I don't have to answer your question yes or no because you're setting up a trap so you can have a media narrative.
I'm not setting up a trap.
And I'm not.
A trap? What trap, and why would you walk into it? If you didn't do that, if you didn't at all punish your political opponents, there's no trap to walk into. You just say, no, of course not. Of course, that would be insane and authoritarian for us to engage in that sort of thought crime. Your answer suggests that you did it in part. You know you're walking into a trap, and that's not good.
Giving it to you.
Unless it's true that you fired people.
People have been terminated at the FBI who failed to uphold the standards that the FBI requires them to uphold.
Did you tell any?
All right, so you've got some more. You can see it slowly starting to build up. It gets a lot worse. Here's another clip.
The FBI requires them to uphold.
Did you tell anyone at the FBI that all FBI employees who they identified who had worked on cases against President Trump would be removed from their jobs? Did you tell that to someone at the FBI?
Say that I would remove people for case assignments?
That people that were identified as having worked on cases against President Trump would be removed from their jobs. Did you tell that to someone at the FBI?
People are not removed for case assignments.
Just answer my question. Did you tell that to someone?
People are not removed for case assignments.
No, you're not answering my question.
And I would never
Mr. Patel,
tell anyone.
Did you tell someone at the FBI that FBI employees identified as having worked on cases against President Trump would be removed from their jobs? Yes or no, did you tell someone that?
I would never tell anyone at the FBI that they're being removed for basically their case assignments.
Okay, so anyone who had said that would be lying. Is that your testimony?
Anyone can say whatever they want.
No, I know, but you're saying they were a liar.
I'm telling you what I said.
Because this is in the complaint against you, Mr. Patel. So you're saying Mr. Driscoll and others are liars?
I'm not going to address the complaint.
It's going to get a lot worse. Okay, oh my gosh. Here's another long clip because then the topic turns to the Epstein files.
Clearly won't tell us the cabinet members associated with Mr. Epstein. Let me ask you one last question. And that is, right after she gives this testimony in front of an FBI agent, among others, she's transferred to a minimum security prison not suitable for a sex offender like herself. Who made that decision and why?
The Bureau of Prisons.
The Bureau of Decisions made it in
prisons.
The Bureau of Prisons decided on their own, without any consultation with Blanche or anyone else, that they were going to suddenly, after this interview, completely unrelated to this interview, completely unrelated to anything she said, move her to a prison not suitable for a sex offender. You want the American people to believe that? Do you think they're stupid?
No. I think the American people believe the truth, that I'm not in the weeds on the everyday movements of inmates.
Not in the weeds?
What I am doing is protecting this country, providing historic reform, and combating the weaponization of intelligence by the likes of you. And we have countlessly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate, in January 6th. You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charade. You are a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can take an internet troll.
Take it to the bank that the FBI is protecting this country and the state and citizens of the California. We are bringing historic reform. Point of order. But all you care about is a child sex predator that was prosecuted by a prior administration, and the Obama Justice Department and the Biden Justice Department did squat. And what did President Trump do? Bring new charges courageously. And what have we done?
Chairman,
you said I'm the most transparent FBI director in history. 33,000 pages of information to you. I challenge you to say anything credibly to the truth. Go ahead and run to the cameras where you want to go now.
Both of you be quiet.
Damn. Chuck Grassley tells him to be quiet. So that was a total meltdown, folks. That was in reference again to Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking partner, herself convicted of sex trafficking. Adam Schiff triggered the shit out of Kash Patel, who's probably feeling the pressure to deliver performatively given his recent screw-ups. That was embarrassing. It's humiliating and probably contributed to a very terrible day on Capitol Hill. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.